He might be the most positive person on the roster.
You are Locked On Trojans, your daily podcast on the USC Trojans, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Fight on, everyone. I'm your host, Mark Holkin, and thank you for making Locked On USC part of the Locked On Network, your first listen every day. Whether you're watching the show on YouTube, wherever you want to download your podcast, this show is always free, and the show will always appreciate your support. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Make every moment more. As the playoffs wind down, the sports stop sporting like we want them to. But this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all of their customers with a boost or a bonus, and they're doing it daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. Visit FanDuel.com to get started. I've said it before, but it bears repeating. These are the guys on the team that do not get enough attention. And you probably wouldn't even recognize them if they're walking around campus, they're wearing the jersey, you try to say, super fan. That's not who they are. The walk-ons at USC, they're special, and they do more for helping your team prepare than I think anybody actually realizes. So far, I've introduced the Trojan family to Kill Switch, Killian O'Connor, the man with two first names, Gage Roy. Now we're going to flip to the other side of the ball. Let's talk a little defense with one of the team's spring game captains, one of the most positive guys on the team. Everyone, this is redshirt sophomore linebacker Roman Marchetti. The name just sounds like a Trojan. Roman.
Yes,
Welcome.
sir. Yeah.
Awesome. So you played your high school ball at Foothill, Orange County, for those who aren't aware. As a senior, you made the 2021 Cal High Sports All-State Medium Schools third team, All CIF Division III, Orange County Register first team, and then you were Defensive Player of the Year in the conference. And let's see, 150 tackles, 5 for loss, 15 sacks, 2 forced fumbles, an interception, a fumble recovery, a pass deflection, and a partridge on a pear tree. So, Roman, again, talk about your journey. How did you say, I'm going to go to USC when it sounds like you probably had opportunities to go elsewhere?
Actually, I did not have any Division I offers to go elsewhere. The recruiting process was really slow with COVID and everything. Definitely slowed everything down. It was hard without a full junior season to get tape out to all the college coaches. So that process was just slow, but I stuck with it, and I ended up just applying to schools I wanted to go to. I wanted to go to a big Division I school just for that big Division I sport experience, whether I was playing football or not.
Right.
So I applied to all these different schools, and USC ended up being one of those schools I got into.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, I just began reaching out to the coaches every day, and eventually had the opportunity to come up for a little unofficial visit for a spring practice, and had the opportunity presented me to walk on. So yeah, it all kind of fell into place.
When you're going through that process where you're kind of, initiating contact, saying, hey, here's my resume, look at me. Who kind of took over your recruitment at USC, so to speak?
It was Spencer Harris, who I finally ended up getting in touch with. He's working over at he was with, I think might be with House of Victory. He's doing some NIL stuff now, but he was working with the team at that point. So I got in touch with him through my high school coach, and then was able to, put together the visit, and then met with Coach Odom at the time.
Right.
It kind of fell into place from there.
Awesome. Was it quick once it happened?
Yeah, it was actually very quick. I grew up a Utah fan because both my parents went there. So my whole life I wasn't really a USC fan. And then I got into the school and didn't really think much of it. Obviously, it's, a really well-known school and awesome education. So I was interested, but didn't think much of it. Came up to visit just for like admitted student day. And then I loved it. I was like, I need to end up going here. Like, this is where I want to be. Right. And then a few weeks, I think the week after that, I got in touch with Spencer. And then from there, it fell into place and worked out great.
So you brought up your parents went to Utah. Did you have a little bit of a dead period after those losses where you said, you know what, I don't want to talk to my parents because I don't want to hear it from them?
No, once I decided to go here, they were all on, fight on, just full USC fans supporting me. They've always supported me, with their fullest ability and provided me with opportunities. So thankful to them for them and everything they've done for me.
Cool. I also understand you're a lax guy. You play a little bit of lacrosse.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, how did you get involved in that sport? Because that's typically like an East Coast thing, boarding school type of thing. Did you have any serious offers or considerations to go to college playing lacrosse?
So it was actually, I think, in second grade. It was at football practice, my first year of football. The high school lacrosse coach at Foothill, John Fox,
Okay.
he's big into like recruiting little kids to pick up the game of lacrosse just to try it out because it's a very fun game. So he came out to our football practice and just had us like with sticks running around for like 5-10 minutes before practice.
Right.
And I loved it. So I told my parents I want to try it out. And I tried it out. I think third grade was my first year.
Okay.
And I played it every year since. And then at high school, I had to pick between baseball and lacrosse. And I ended up picking lacrosse just because I enjoyed the sport a bit more. And so lax was great. I loved it. Never really had the same interest to play Division I as I did with football, but
Right.
I love playing lacrosse, and it's something I enjoyed.
Do you still bring it out, when you have some free time, walk around?
Definitely. I haven't picked up the stick in 3 years now at this point, but yeah, it was fun. It was fun while it lasted.
Awesome. So, all right, you made it to USC. Brian Odom is your position coach. Do you remember when you went into the game as a true freshman against Stanford? Who told you, put your helmet on, you're going in?
I think that was actually an error on ESPN's part because I didn't travel all my freshman year.
Okay.
So, yeah, so I was at home. I was in my dorm watching the game with all my roommates, and I remember like seeing a stat after that. I got like a rep on, or like I don't even know what stat it was, but I was like, oh, interesting.
So they saw Justin Dedek's number and they gave it to you.
I'm assuming that's what happened, but yeah.
Well, I think I've got this right. Last year you saw action in 4 games?
Yes, sir. Yes, that's right.
So in those 4 games, you actually had a kickoff return for 10 yards against Holiday in the Holiday Bowl. Do you know who Brian Cushing is?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Okay. Just checking because
he actually, great. Yes, sir.
Yeah. He actually returned an onside kick against Notre Dame. So wondering if maybe that you had visions of Brian Cushing in your head.
Yeah, I've probably seen that clip in the past, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Sounds like he would do something like that.
Well, I do a little bit of research talking behind the scenes, and I found out a little bit about you, and I kind of get the impression that you're like, someone told me you have like the highest tolerance for pain. Brian Cushing likes to inflict pain, so I see a crossover there. Talk about when you were named team captain this spring. In going into the spring game, I'm not sure anybody really understands how much goes into that, and the amount of respect that comes with that. Do you remember when you were said you're team captain?
Yeah, so we had a team meeting right before the game. Okay. And I remember my freshman year for the spring game, Coach Riley picked out a defensive and an offensive captain before the game. I think it was the day before the game. The meeting that we had where he selected me and then the other captain, what was it? Kyron. Sorry. Okay. Yeah, so it was the morning of the game. So I wasn't really like expecting, I was like not too sure if he's going to pick captains or not. And then he started talking about it and he started describing the defensive guy and he was kind of like eyeing me. And I was like, oh, like, could it be me? And then he said, she's my nickname. And the whole room erupted and I was like, oh, no way. Like it was an awesome feeling. Like probably my favorite moment I've had so far with the team. Like it was just really cool and great experience.
Was it a big room explosion when
yeah, everyone was pretty happy and yeah, it was awesome.
I can only imagine. Like I said, you had a chance to get into 4 games last year, and what's going through your head when you see that ball coming at you on that kickoff? You're like, don't drop it, just make sure you don't drop it.
Yeah, ball security was definitely number 1. Just get the ball, keep it safe, get it to the offense. But I saw how low it was, and it was coming right at me. So I'm like, all right, this is like my chance. I got to field it. And before I knew I was starting at that spot in kickoff return the night before the game. Right. So I was like thinking about all the possible scenarios, and that was one that came up. So I was like, if I get it and it's not like enough to could fair catch it. I'm just going straight as fast as I can get. I ended up doing this hop right into my hand. That hard to can and go forward, and we got a penalty too, so that kind of pushed us forward a bit further and set up a nice drive.
So did you go up to Coach Riley after the game and say, "Hey, look, man, just make me your kick returner"? Should you be the dude? Did we lose you? You're freezing up. I'm going to keep talking. So while Roman gets these little technical things worked out, I'm going to go ahead and take a real quick ad break here. We'll be right back. So stick around. We got more with Roman coming up. Passion, drive, and patience. What brings home the winning trophy is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. From superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more, whether in the speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to turn your car into the MVP and bring home that win. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit only available to U.S. customers. All right, we're back. We got Roman going again. So you kind of let the cheese out of the bag before we went to the commercial break. By the way, we're not formal around here, so can I call you Cheese from now on?
Of course.
Cool. Now, tell the story. How did you get the nickname? Is it a football thing, or is it one of your fraternity things? Or Sigma Chi, right?
Sigma Chi, yes.
So who said you're Cheese?
So it actually goes back to middle school. It's kind of a silly origin story.
Okay.
So this is back when like water bottle flipping was popular.
Love it.
Yeah, that was like a trend back in the day. Back when I was in like 6th grade, me and all my middle school buddies were just doing it, basically playing horse, but with like different types of water bottle flips. Really silly, but one of my friends called me Cheesemar because all my friends called me Romar.
Okay.
And then I don't know why he decided to call me Cheesemar. And then he started to explain like, well, it's because I just did like the basic, single flip, and everyone else, like someone would mess up going around the circle and did like a letter in the game that we were playing. So I was like kind of cheesing them with my move. So it kind of stuck, and then it was Cheesemar, and then it got shortened to Cheese. So that's kind of how that came about. And then one of my buddies who was playing with me at that point was actually my roommate. He played baseball here, Austin O'Verne. He played football freshman year too.
Yeah.
I grew up with him, so that's how it kind of made its way up here. He started calling me Cheese, and all my freshman year roommates started calling me Cheese. Gage Killian, and then like kind of the whole team started. Even the fraternity now does too. So, yeah.
I was kind of hoping maybe not hope. Well, my mind goes off in dirty joke things, so I'm thinking, but you just walking around the locker room just cheesing everybody. So no worries. And we won't ask. Well, if I know that you've made it permanent, so I think that's great.
Yes, I have made it permanent now. Yes.
You can let everybody know where it's at another time.
Yes, exactly.
So, all right. Let's also, you're a jorts guy. I hear you like to walk around wearing jean shorts.
Honestly, not really. I got a pair. I went to Stagecoach. It's like a country music festival a few years back.
Okay.
So I got a pair of like jeans from Goodwill, and then I cut them into jorts just to fit the part. And whenever all my laundry's dirty and I'm washing it, I'll wear the jorts. But that's about all. I don't really bring them out around school or anything. So
yeah,
I wouldn't call myself a jorts guy, but somewhat.
I would love to walk around behind you. You walking around campus in jorts just to see the look.
I might have to do it one day. We'll see.
All right, let's talk a little bit more football. Talk about the linebackers, the room itself. How much of a difference has Coach Matt Entz made in his short time since he's taken over that group?
I mean, a huge difference. Just bringing positive energy every day. Just an energy that like makes you want to play hard, play for him, play for the team. Very constructive criticism, just, great coaching points. Makes it easy to learn the defense. And just like overall, just the energy that he brings is just super contagious and, makes you want to like, he's a coach that you want to just grind for and do your best for.
Can you tell that he was a former head coach, the way he runs the room and teaches and all that?
Of course. Yeah. He's definitely a leader, just a great leader. Someone that just, that he's talking about stuff that, makes sense. And he just understands the game in a different way, and you trust him, and everything. He's great.
So let's talk about your daily routine. Again, people, I want to remind everybody, preferred walk-on, you do everything that everybody that's on scholarship, the guy who's making the most NIL, you have the same accountability, the same responsibilities. Walk us through your daily routine. Who's in your workout group? Let's start there.
So I'm in the 6 a.m. group, which I actually love. It's just like a great way to start the day. It's a bit early, 5:15 wake up, but you get used to it, and it's just fun to like go out there and grind with everyone. A lot of other walk-ons are in that group too, so it's kind of fun to be with like Gage and Garrett Pomerantz. He's another one of my roommates. It's fun to be with them, and it's just early wake up, but the grind's fun and it's rewarding too. So I like that.
All right. Speaking, the other thing I wanted to ask you about during your summer is the PRPs. I know you can't, talk about X's and O's, but talk about the PRPs. Who's really popping right now? And, it's shorts and T-shirts, but tell everyone why the defense is going to look just so much more like it did in the Holiday Bowl going forward compared to, that outside noise I'm sure you're aware of.
I'd say overall, it's just like everyone's understanding of our goal this year.
Okay.
And just commitment to each other. Specific players, Easton Mascarenas has been like great. He's such a good leader. Someone I look up to. He's obviously super skilled on the field. And he's just a great leader all around. And all the other pieces that we picked up, the freshmen, the transfers, have been great. They're all super skilled, and will, have great contributions to this team. So overall, I just think the defense is, moving in the right direction 100%.
And are you playing at the Mike spot, or are you cross-training in a different linebacker position?
Oh, I'm at the Mike spot, yes.
Awesome. You enjoy? Is that your favorite position to play?
Yeah. Linebacker's awesome. I tried safety for like a bit in high school, like my sophomore year, and linebacker's my favorite for sure.
As far as your strengths and weaknesses, are you more of a run stuffer? Do you like doing, you like to drop back into coverage? What do you like doing the most?
Definitely run game.
Okay.
But overall, I just say just running to the ball, just tackling is my favorite thing for sure.
Okay. Yeah, it's linebacker mentality.
Exactly.
So I've heard, again, I've heard that you have a really high tolerance for pain. It's probably why your teammates think you're one of the toughest guys in the squad. Where does that type of, never quit work ethic mentality come from? Who taught you that? Where was that ingrained from?
Definitely my dad. I just think he's always preached to me, just be the hardest worker. And like the work that you put in ultimately determines what you're going to get out of whatever you're doing. So he just always has preached to me, just work as hard as you can. That's the only thing you can control, is the effort you put into something, the attitude you bring towards something. So that's like his two biggest points. He was my coach growing up for 10 years. And those were his two things: effort and attitude. Every day, just show up, strive to get better, bring a good attitude, and the rest will fall into place.
That makes complete sense. So I mentioned at the very top of the show, you're one of the most positive guys on the roster. When things aren't going the way you want, how do you maintain that positivity? And I want you to kind of elaborate. When you see things aren't going the way they should be, maybe on the practice field or in the locker room, do you feel comfortable standing up and speaking up?
For me, I'm not the biggest talker. I just definitely strive to lead by example, and just kind of put forth when stuff's not going the team's way or your way. I'm a big preacher of just continue to work and just grind through it, because that'll just builds calluses ultimately and just makes you stronger, no matter how like tough it is. You just kind of got to work through it, and there's always light at the end of the tunnel almost. So yeah, I just like to lead by example in doing that. I'm not like a big rah-rah guy at all.
Okay.
I'm probably like considered one of the more quiet guys on the team. But like, I just like to lead by example and just put forth the best of myself every day.
Last question for this segment. You're a journalism major. Are you still doing that? Awesome. So you're coming after my job when you're done playing football. Great. Someone also told me that, they think you should consider maybe being like a Navy SEAL or an Army Ranger when you're done playing football. And again, that goes back to your work ethic, your toughness. Have you ever thought about doing something like that? Or even going into coaching like your dad?
Definitely like the Navy SEAL thing and coaching. I'm not really entirely sure what I want to do after college yet at this point. Still trying to figure it out, find my footing. Definitely need to get my feet a bit more wet within the journalism side of things, sports journalism specifically. But yeah, I mean, being a Navy SEAL would be pretty cool. Obviously, it's probably one of the hardest things to do in the world. But it's the biggest proponents of that are my roommates. They just feel like I could do it. So I don't know, maybe they're right, but maybe I'll try it. We'll see. But
you know what? Again, when I hear my friends or my peers talking about stuff like that about me, if they were ever to talk about me like that, I mean, to me, that's just the highest form of respect. So again, props to you, Roman. You are making an impact whether you realize it or not. I just want you to kind of understand that. Absolutely. All right. Let me do this real quick. I love sports. I love them so much. I never want them to stop. I mean, imagine USC football 24/7, 365. Yeah. But you know what? As the playoffs are winding down, we're getting fewer games. The sports aren't sporting like we want them to. FanDuel lets me keep up going to my sports, doing it whenever I want. All I have to do is open up the app and dream up bets anytime I'm in the mood. And this summer, FanDuel is hooking up all customers with a boost or a bonus daily. That's right. There's something for everyone every day, all summer long. So head on over to FanDuel.com/LockedOn and start making the most of your summer. FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. All right. Now we get to have some fun, Roman.
Awesome.
It's what you've been waiting for. All right, I'm gonna throw off some rapid fire questions. Stuff that you got, you probably see your teammates doing up on the big screen during a timeout during the game. You're on the big screen. Here we go. Kobe, LeBron, MJ.
I'm gonna have to go with MJ just because I watched The Last Dance over COVID and I just love that series. It inspired me. So
can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. LA Rams or LA Chargers?
I'm a big Chargers guy. I used to go down to Qualcomm back when I was younger with my pops and my uncle. So yeah, Chargers.
Okay. You get to pick one season seat. Lakers, Clippers, Kings, or Ducks?
Ducks. I love hockey. Playoff hockey's the best. I know the Ducks aren't that good right now, but back when I was a bit younger, they made the playoffs quite often. So it was always fun to go to those games.
Don't get mad. Go Kings, go. I think I know the answer to this one then. Dodgers or Angels?
I'm an Angels guy as well. Yeah, they've been very disappointing throughout my lifetime, but it's all right. I'm still an Angels guy.
Hey, you know what? I'm dealing with the Dodgers. They've got the highest payroll, but they still have Dave Roberts managing them. So here's what it is. Now, if you're into this, hero or anti-hero?
I'd say hero, just because I feel like more people don't like the anti-hero than I don't even know what I'm getting at here, but I just hero because people like you. There's no, you're doing
Superman versus,
yeah,
type of thing.
I don't want to hurt people. I'd rather save people.
Got it. All right. Hot or cold? And I'm talking about showers.
Hot. Yeah, I'd rather live in like warm, hot weather than like cold, snowy weather.
Yeah, your roommate said cold, and I was like, dude. No.
Yeah, I don't know what they've been saying that to me too. But.
Where's your almost forgot. Hard or soft tacos?
I'd say I like the soft shell, like some street tacos. Yeah,
All
those
right.
are my favorite corn tortillas.
Speaking of, do you have your favorite street taco place that you go to?
There's one called Angels. I think they have a few stands around LA, but yeah, those are good. Really spicy, but good.
Yeah, no, like I mentioned the name Justin Diedick before. He's the one who told me about Angel. So, good choice. All right. Favorite place to eat on campus, in the village, and then off campus?
In the village, I'm gonna have to go with Dulce or Dolce, however you pronounce it. It's a great breakfast burrito.
Yes, it is.
Always get it with bacon. That's the move. And then off campus, kind of like a very basic Southern California answer, but In-N-Out, just super
Yeah.
consistent, great burgers, great fries, great chocolate shake, can't go wrong.
I think you answered my next question. I was going to say In-N-Out or Tommy's, but you said all right. Beating Notre Dame or beating UCLA? Which one means more to you?
Oh,
I know. It's a hard one.
that is a tough one. After last year, like with Notre Dame being our first loss last year in South Bend, I think I want to beat them there senior year really badly. So I'd say at this point, Notre Dame, but UCLA is pretty awesome too.
Yeah, we got to get that victory bell back painted the right color.
Of course. Here.
Playing in the Coliseum or playing in front of a hostile crowd?
I think there's something to be said about going to another team's house and just getting the win and just silencing the crowd. So I'd say winning away games.
Okay. And then let's do this one. You like night games or day games?
Ooh. I like night games. Just reminds me more of high school playing under the lights. So, yeah.
Last question. Mama's boy or are you a dad's dude?
I'd say probably a dad's dude just because my dad's coached me for, like I said, like 10 years. So spent a lot of time with him on and off the field talking about ball and stuff. So
you're the first person, I think, who's gone there. Everyone always wants to pay deference to mom, and they should. And I appreciate your candor. So
I definitely played my deference to mom too, but
I'm sure she'll see this and she'll remind you that mom always goes. Don't worry about that. You're going to hear it, I'm sure. Roman, I want to say thank you so much for coming on the show. Again, my purpose in doing this was I want to make sure everybody knows who everybody on the roster is. And last year, I think you got a little bit of taste getting on the field. I think you might be getting a little bit more taste this year. Again, I hear things, so everyone's rooting for you. Is there anything you want to tell the fans? You want to, that maybe I didn't cover that you want them to know about you?
I think we pretty much covered a lot of it. I love football and I love USC, so fight on.
Yeah, spring camp starts in what, like 2.5 weeks, maybe?
Yeah, we're coming up. Summer flew by, or just flying by. So yeah, it's been fun. Looking forward to it. Big Ten.
Last question, I promise. Who can eat more eggs, you or Gage?
Gonna have to give that one to Gage just because of the absurd amount of omelets or egg omelet, like the certain amount of eggs we'll get in his omelets at Little Galen's. So yeah, I could probably compete with him, but at the end of the day, he probably will eat more.
How many calories are you packing in per day? I know they've got you on a regimen.
I think 4,000 to 5,000 is probably the daily amount that I'll get in just to put on some weight. So yeah, a lot.
Is that hard? Is that hard to do?
Yes, for sure. Not every meal you look forward to that. Like there's definitely meals where you're just like, but it's all part of it, I guess.
There you go. All right, Trojan fans, Locked On Trojan family. That's Roman Marchetti, your linebacker, USC. We'll try and get him back on the show again. I will try and get some interviews with him during the season. I will be back next week with another 5 episodes. Let's say thank you again to Roman. So until then, everyone, you know what to do.